Alright guys, here you are, back with something sinister. And for today, I'm gonna be looking at a problem that I wouldn't like to address, but it keeps beating me over the head. Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog. Who doesn't know Sonic the Hedgehog? Well, if you don't, you live under a rock. But anyway, Sonic the Hedgehog has been part of my gaming experience ever since I started. He's one of the first games I played, and you know, he's probably one of my favorite franchises and characters. But unfortunately, the people creating said games aren't exactly doing a stellar job. And I don't like to criticize often, but unfortunately, the games haven't been as good as they used to. And I feel as though Sonic deserves better. And I think that personally there are ways to make him better. And if you care about my opinion, then I'm gonna tell you why. So sit back, relax, and enjoy an opinionated speech. Alright guys, first order of business is Sonic Boom, the most recent Sonic game, and guess what? It's crap. 2.9 out of 10? It's bad. Okay, some say it's on par with Sonic 06. The character redesigns are crap, the gameplay's crap, the plot's crap. It's just crap all around. And unfortunately, that's disappointing, because people were hoping this was gonna be a good game, you know, and it wasn't. So, where did it go wrong? Well, I don't know. Maybe the fact that Knuckles looks like LeBron James, but besides the point, there's a couple things I can see wrong with it, in my opinion. First off, Knuckles. Second off, bandages. Third off, character redesigns. And, Eggman not being fat. There's a problem here when he looks realistic. You know, when they made him look realistic, it was bad, okay? It was bad. You know, from Sonic 06. And something else I have a problem with? This is Knuckles, no! Okay, so that was unnecessary, but it's true. The first thing I gotta talk about is Eggman, the main villain of the series. The only unfortunate problem with Eggman is he's a good villain, but he's also not as good as he could be. He used to be a lot more competent, his plans are more complex, but now he's simple, and in almost every scenario when him and Sonic have a face-off, he gets trashed over and over again. Which pretty much is a cliche runabout of the series. Eggman gets trashed every time him and Sonic meet.
Nice to see you, Shadow Android. And you too, Omega. It certainly looks as if you've, well, done quite a bit of damage down there.
Don't believe me when I say modern Eggman isn't competent? Anyone remember, Slot Dealer from Shadow the Hedgehog? The boss that literally helps you kill it? Okay, that's just pathetic. This is probably one of the worst machines he's ever made, in my opinion, but still, this boss was pathetic, and is a perfect example of how Eggman has declined over the years. I will admit though, modern Eggman has had his good moments and his good plots, but they all unfortunately end in the same way. He always gets trashed by someone and loses. And unfortunately, that makes him, as a threat, little to none. And a villain, or a good villain per se, should at least put up a bit of a challenge. And Eggman, in terms of challenge, is very slim, especially in this case. But there was a time when he actually was, and what I consider his greatest moment, when he was a legitimate threat. Now, anyone who's played Sonic Adventure 2 knows this scene, because it is one of Eggman's greatest scenes in the entire game, when he declares his master plan to all human life. And he basically says, look bros, I'm taking over your planet, what you gonna fucking do about it? And you know what? He delivers, because he's literally sitting there laughing, saying, you don't believe I can take over your silly fucking planet? Well, you know what? Here's a demonstration of my power. Guess what I can do? Me, Super Genius Robotnik? I'm gonna blow up your fucking moon. This is a scene from Sonic Lost World, which pretty much encompasses the main problem Eggman has today, which is his plans backfire on him, which kind of make him a not so great villain. Like I showed you previously, he was an excellent villain, but modern Eggman with scenes like this, where his plans keep backfiring and he keeps fucking up and losing all the time, kind of bring him down a couple notches, which totally take away from the fact that he has an IQ of 300, but somehow manages to lose all the time. Now I gotta talk about one of the greatest opponents Sonic ever had, Shadow the Hedgehog. When Shadow the Hedgehog first arrived in Sonic Adventure 2, you didn't think much of him until he shouted Chaos Control and you knew shit was about to go down. This character was the exact opposite of Sonic. He was dark, emo, sort of violent, could cause explosions in his game, and was the foil to Sonic. He played off of Sonic, who was all about justice and doing the right thing and lighthearted, and Shadow was dark, brooding, but he wasn't Batman, alright? But still, this character was one of the greatest opponents Sonic ever had. When I say greatest, I mean it. Shadow had Sonic's abilities. He could do everything Sonic could do, and then had his own abilities on top of that. Not to mention the character is well layered, meaning he wasn't just what you saw on the outside. There was a large backstory behind him. And on top of that, he posed a massive threat to Sonic, taking him out on numerous occasions in Adventure 2 when both of them fight during boss fights. Although the game Shadow the Hedgehog was not well received and a lot of people don't exactly like it, I thought the intro was great and the game wasn't half bad. I don't hate it, I personally like it, and in this game, yes, the story made not a lot of sense, but still, it showed a different side of the character. There you have it, an example of a good rival, or villain at the time of Adventure 2 battle. Shadow the Hedgehog was the biggest contender against Sonic in the game and could actually beat him, but unfortunately, the game developers have tried doing this formula and desperately failed at it. I don't even want to go into this, and God forgive me for it.
You can't get away this time. There's only one real sign. It's
I don't even think I need to waste the time on for the reason why Silver is a failed rival. Okay? I'm not even gonna go into it. That is an example enough. No. On to next subject and point. Done. In the large expanse of characters in the Sonic universe, one stands out almost close to Shadow, but not quite there. Metal Sonic. Personally, one of Eggman's greatest creations. Even though it turned on him, it posed the greatest threat to Sonic out of anything he's ever made. I think. I'm pretty sure it was Metal Sonic. But anyway, remember that scene in Heroes when he turns into a giant fucking dragon? Not only was this sequence epic, it also showed the kind of dangerous power Metal Sonic had, and throughout the entire game, you thought it was Eggman behind everything. But plot twist, it was actually Metal Sonic, which was quite impressive for the game. When I played it for the first time, it was hinted at, but I never drew the pieces together when I played it back on GameCube when I was younger. And when I finally got all the Chaos Emeralds and I unlocked the final stage, and we're like, oh shit, Metal Sonic. The only downside to Metal Sonic is this is the only time in the entire series when he grabs the spotlight as the main villain, and it was epic as all hell. The only unfortunate thing is, this is the only time they used him for such a role. And now he's basically just any other robot, which is unfortunate. The unfortunate fact of the matter is that Sonic Boom is a bad game. People have played it, people now know it's bad. You can't fix it now, but you can do better for next time. Easiest things that are actually very simple things to improve a next Sonic game would simply be better writing, better plot, better gameplay, or just simply don't try and innovate so much to the point where it's no longer a Sonic game. Sonic is about going fast, hence why he's called Sonic. In Sonic Boom, you're walking around in a Sonic game. If you played Sonic Generations, you knew it was a good game. It was a fun overall experience, the gameplay mechanics were good, the boss fights were fun, and everything was well done all around in my opinion. Thing is, it ended the same way as most of the Sonic games. Eggman gets trashed by Sonic. Kind of a staple in the series, I know, but it doesn't have to be. Now I've gone over what a villain rival should fit the bill in terms of the Sonic universe. Shadow fits the bill as a rival, Metal Sonic fits the bill as a rival villain sort of robot creation, Eggman in his older days was the perfect villain for the series, but nowadays, with the characters declining in such mannerisms they are, I think it's time to bring in something that could fit the bill of all three of them. Metal Sonic, Eggman, and Shadow. But who the hell could fit this bill? Because we haven't seen them in any game so far. Now I know this sounds completely crazy, but when I say no game I mean it, because this character doesn't exist in the games. Look no further than the Sonic comics. If you haven't read the comics, I highly recommend it, because right now the stories in the comics are faring better than most of the games. Now this character is the embodiment of a good villain. And in the comics, he gave Sonic a run for his money more times than I'd like to count. You want a good villain? Look no further than Scourge the Hedgehog. If you haven't read the comics, don't worry, I'll explain who he is. Scourge the Hedgehog, first you have to start off what he was. Originally, he was a character known as Anti-Sonic. Some dickbag sporting Sonic who looked exactly the same as him, wearing sunglasses, motorcycle boots, and a leather jacket, who was from an alternate dimension. See, in Sonic's dimension, everybody loved Sonic and treated him like a good guy, cause he was. In Scourge's dimension, everybody fucking hated him. So, he tried to trade places with Sonic, lost to Sonic, so in a sort of spiteful revenge, he infused himself with the power of chaos and became the green hedgehog known as Scourge. So, after Scourge became infused with the power of chaos, his simple desire to simply switch places with Sonic became the utter urge to destroy him. Oh, and did I mention afterwards when he attains this power, he decides to go back to his dimension to test it out, and he takes over the entire fucking planet. So then, now that he's conquered his planet and became the king of it, he comes to Sonic's dimension in order to take over that planet. And while he tries to take over Sonic's planet, he gets in a four-way fight between Sonic, two versions of Metal Sonic, and Shadow, and wipes the floor with all of them. So, are you not convinced that Scourge would be a almost perfect villain for such a task to redeem the Sonic games? I think he would, but let me convince you some more. Not only does Scourge kick ass, but his super form is purple. No, he's not Barney the fucking dinosaur, but his super form is twice as strong as Super Sonic. A little overpowered, I know, but still epic. Using this form, he almost managed to kill Sonic and take over his entire planet. And when I said almost, I meant really fucking close. He lost by a technicality. His super form's downside is that when it wears off, the user's completely drained of all energy, which gave Sonic the chance to put the KO on him and send him to a interdimensional prison. Oh, did I mention he breaks out? Now, I'm not saying they have to use Scourge as a villain, but it'd be pretty cool if they do, being a fan of the comics. I'm simply just making a suggestion, a very good suggestion, might I add. But, even so, this has been Something Sinister, here with my point of view. Thanks for listening.
You know what they say, the more the merrier. You know what they say, the more the merrier. You know what they say, the more the merrier. You know what they say, the more the merrier. You know what they say, the more the merrier. You know what they say, the more the merrier. You know what they say, the more the merrier. You know what they say, the more the merrier.